For thousands of years, human civilizations rose and fell. Some built enormous cities. Some achieved incredible wealth. Some created stunning art. Some dominated vast territories. But only one civilization created the systems, the science, the institutions, and the ideas that built the modern world as we know it today. This is the story of why Western civilization became so successful, not by destiny, not by superiority, but through a long, complex journey of ideas, failures, discoveries, competition, and transformation. Let's begin at the very root of this story, the Greek beginning, when humans learned to think differently. More than 2,500 years ago, ancient Greece did something unprecedented. They asked questions that no other civilization had asked with the same structure or intensity. What is truth? What is justice? What makes a good society?
If justice is merely the interest of the stronger, as some suggest, then what prevents us from calling injustice a virtue?
What is the universe made of? How should a human live? Socrates challenged people to think beyond tradition. Plato imagined a world of ideals, values, and meaning. Aristotle studied nature, logic, ethics, biology, politics, and physics. For the first time, a society tried to understand the world through reason and debate, not inheritance and myth. The Greeks invented philosophy, logic, political theory, geometry, rational argument, and the foundations of scientific thinking. They created a culture where questioning was not disrespect, it was progress. This mindset would echo for thousands of years. 2. The Roman system. Law, order, and the architecture of stability. If Greece created ideas, Rome created systems. Rome built laws, courts, citizenship, engineering, contracts, property rights, administration, and an empire of infrastructure. Rome's law insisted on consistency and clarity. Roads connected the empire. Aqueducts brought water into cities. A common legal system protected trade and property. Rome's greatest idea was simple. Power must serve the law, not the other way around. This single principle became the backbone of Western political institutions. Even after Rome collapsed, its legal and administrative ideas survived, embedded in the DNA of Europe. 3. The Middle Ages. Hidden growth beneath the surface. Many call the Middle Ages dark, but in reality, this period built several foundations of Western success. Monasteries preserved Greek and Roman manuscripts. Without the monks, most ancient knowledge would have vanished forever. Universities emerged: Bologna, Paris, Oxford. Not temples, not courts. Learning institutions devoted entirely to study and debate. Scholars studied philosophy, law, theology, astronomy, mathematics. Degrees, lectures, academic ranks, and peer review were invented here. Meanwhile, Europe remained fragmented into many kingdoms. This fragmentation produced an unlikely advantage: competition. No single authority could suppress new ideas across the entire continent. If one kingdom banned a thinker, another welcomed him. If one university rejected an idea, another debated it. This competitive environment kept intellectual life alive. 4. The Renaissance, when humanity rediscovers itself. After centuries of gradual change, Europe experienced a powerful rebirth, the Renaissance. Artists studied anatomy to paint accurately. Engineers learned from nature. Humanists studied ancient texts with fresh curiosity. Mathematicians introduced perspective in art. Scientists and thinkers began observing the world directly. The Renaissance reintroduced a radical message. Human beings can understand the world through study and observation. This mindset prepared Europe for the biggest transformation in human history. 5. The Scientific Revolution, when the universe became understandable. In the 1500s and 1600s, everything changed. Copernicus proposed the heliocentric model. Galileo built telescopes and saw mountains on the moon. He discovered moons orbiting Jupiter. He experimented with falling objects and proved mathematical laws of motion. Galileo discovered the true geometry of planetary orbits. Newton unified motion and gravity and created calculus, a tool still used today in engineering, physics, economics, and technology. This was not just science, it was a new way of thinking. Truth, not tradition. Truth, not belief. Truth, not authority. Truth is evidence. The scientific method, observation, measurement, testing, repetition, became the most powerful tool humans ever created. This turned the West into a knowledge-producing machine. 6. The Enlightenment, when freedom becomes a principle. As scientific ideas spread, philosophical ideas evolved too. Enlightenment thinkers argued, people have rights, power must be limited, governments must serve citizens, freedom of speech and religion are essential, laws must be fair, economies must allow competition. John Locke shaped ideas of individual liberty. Montesquieu argued for separation of powers. Adam Smith explained how markets and innovation thrive under economic freedom. These ideas shaped modern democracy, capitalism, and education. The West created a society where criticism is allowed, debate is normal, and innovation is rewarded. 7. The Industrial Revolution, when the West overtook the world. In the late 1700s, in Britain, the modern world began. Why Britain? Because it combined several rare factors: strong property rights, rule of law, patents, scientific culture, engineering talent, access to coal, stable banking, global trade routes, rising literacy, competitive markets. Steam engines, factories, steel, railroads, electricity. The West industrialized first and gained centuries of economic advantage. Western economies exploded with wealth and production. This transformed global power permanently. 8. Institutions, the West's real secret weapon. Western success did not come from culture alone. It came from institutions. Courts, contracts, property rights, patent systems, universities, credit markets, scientific academies, independent journals, free press, elections, local governments, merit-based bureaucracy. Institutions made innovation predictable and scalable. Where institutions are strong, people can experiment, create, challenge, fail, and try again. Where institutions are weak, innovation dies. Institutions, not individuals, created Western long-term success.
9. The culture of questioning. The West's most unique trait. Western civilization encourages something very unusual. Question everything. Question religion. Question rulers. Question systems. Question science. Question traditions. Question society itself. This culture of criticism creates self-correction, reform, adaptation, progress, innovation, resilience. Civilizations that silence criticism eventually collapse. Civilizations that allow criticism evolve. The West evolved. 10. Global synthesis. The West absorbs the world. Another reason for Western success is that the West absorbed knowledge from every corner of the world. Greek logic, Roman law, Christian and Jewish ethics, Islamic astronomy and medicine, Indian mathematics and numerals, Chinese paper, printing and gunpowder, Egyptian geometry, Babylonian astronomy. The West didn't grow in isolation. It grew by borrowing, learning, integrating, and improving. It became a synthesis of global intelligence. 11. Modern Western advantages. Today, the West leads in science, engineering, innovation, patents, research, universities, technology, media, military systems, economic networks, and global institutions. Almost every major scientific or technological breakthrough of the last 400 years originated in Western institutions. Not because the West is inherently superior, but because Western systems reward progress. 12. The West is not perfect, but it adapts. Western civilization has caused harm too. Colonialism, war, exploitation, inequality. But its greatest strength is adaptability. The West reformed slavery, reformed political systems, reformed science, reformed religion, reformed economies, reformed civil rights. It is a civilization built on evolution, not stagnation. 13. Final answer: why the West became so successful. Western civilizations succeeded because it embraced reason over superstition, science over myth, law over rulers, individual rights over authoritarianism, competition over monopoly, innovation over tradition, debate over silence, systems over chaos, curiosity over fear. These ideas created democracy, capitalism, universities, scientific progress, engineering, human rights, and global innovation. Western success is not a miracle. It is the result of ideas, institutions, and continuous self-correction. And the greatest Western idea, the one that changed the world, is this: truth can be discovered, not declared. That idea built the modern world.